False. 100% false.
Okay, this one we get asked a lot, actually. I don't know if we should answer this one. True or false, you have a favorite raccoon?
True. Hey everyone, so today we're going to be answering a lot of questions you guys have on pet raccoons. Now there's a trend going around on Instagram that people will ask questions and then the person on that channel will answer true or false to those questions. So we did the same thing, but we got a lot of really good questions, so we thought we'd make a whole video on that. I know we also said we were going to make a video on how to walk a pet raccoon, but because the weather is really bad out where we're at, we decided to postpone that video just a little bit. But anyways, that is why we're doing this video, and let's go ahead and get started.
So I have all your guys' questions right here. I'm gonna ask Mitchell first. Your guys'. I'm sorry, that's a fun thing to say.
Is it?
Yeah, your guys'.
Your guys'.
It's because I'm from Chicago.
All right, start over.
You say y'all.
I say y'all. What's up? Comment below if you think your guys is an adequate thing to say, because I think it sounds ridiculous.
I think it's the northern equivalent of y'all. Your guys.
Let us know below.
Okay. Anyways, I have all the questions right here. I'm gonna ask Mitchell. He's gonna respond true or false, and then maybe give an explanation. And if I have anything to add, I'll add.
Okay. Let's go.
Is it true Piper loves mom more?
False. 100% false. At night, she literally comes to the bed, sleeps on my neck for about 70% of the night, and then goes to her if I move, and she didn't like that.
No, I think.
No. Don't cap. Don't cap.
I think Piper's a mama's girl. And I think Cheeto's mama's boy, too. Yeah, I think most of the pets honestly like me a little bit more.
That is cap.
I would say Luna likes you. Our dog Luna likes Mitchell a little bit more. But all the other pets, I think, prefer.
All right, cut the video. Cut the cameras. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, the next question?
Yeah.
All right.
It's definitely not true, though.
The raccoons sleep in a crate.
No.
False.
But yeah. Oh yeah. False. Cheeto does have an enclosure. He's out most of the day. However, at night he definitely has to go to that enclosure because he didn't grow up in the house like Piper did, and we're worried that he's gonna tear up stuff. We're eventually trying to integrate him so he doesn't have to stay in the enclosure, but until he's able to do that, that is where he stays. Piper, on the other hand, grew up free roaming the house, so we haven't had to take any precautions about putting her in a crate at night. And like I said in the last question, she sleeps like on my face practically most of the night.
Or on my face.
Yeah, right. She wishes. All right, but anyways, next.
True or false, raccoon fur is soft?
Yes and no. So like when you have a baby raccoon, it's kind of weird. It's really wiry and rough. So it's not smooth at all. And it's like you'd think the baby would be the cute, soft one, but that is not the case. However, the older they get, they replace that wiry fur with some really nice fur, but it kind of changes throughout the year. During the winter, it becomes the most full and softest. During summer, they kind of shed that winter coat, and it doesn't become as nice, but it's still pretty soft. But I still think your average cat is probably softer than a raccoon. However, it's like kind of a different type of soft.
Yeah, I would say so. And also I would say each raccoon kind of has different fur. Like Cheeto is much more of a silky soft.
Yeah.
And then Piper has more of a fluffy softness to her fur.
Yep, I'd agree with that.
That's really funny. Okay, did anyone show up to Tito's birthday party really?
No one likes Tito apparently.
But I think you should explain, like, we actually invited people to his party and no one showed up. It's not just like, it wasn't just like a cute title. Yeah, so essentially what happened was our swimming videos did really well, and so whenever we had like another animal to swim with, it does better. So I invited like 2 or 3 people to actually come film one of those types of videos, but no one came. And so I thought it'd be a funny spin-off that no one came to his pool party, and it ended up doing exponentially better than I ever thought it would. And it ended up working out better for our channel that no one showed up to his party than, you know, if the dogs, or I think we invited a pig to come swim with Tito at that time. Common misconception, it actually wasn't a birthday party. It was just gonna be a pool party. Yeah, just pool party. But people always say birthday party. Is it true raccoons only live 2 to 3 years? That's typically the case for wild raccoons because a lot of things happen to them, whether it's you know, getting eaten by a predator, falling out of a tree, or getting a disease.
There's a lot that can go wrong in the wild. When you have them as pets, most of those things don't actually happen, and so they can live upwards of 15 to 25 years. I actually knew someone who had one that was 23 years old and was still, kicking it. So yeah, pet raccoons live exponentially longer being as a pet than in the wild because they don't have all the risks that come with it being out in the wild. So subscribe for 15 years of good quality content.
True or false, it's better to have a pet raccoon only if you find them as a newborn.
Yeah, definitely, because there's...
True.
Yeah, true. But anyways, yeah, I definitely recommend getting them as babies because that's when you can integrate them into your family. The baby will see you as mom or dad, and then they will actually listen to you. However, if you're pulling a wild raccoon that's a year old, they're gonna have a lot of that natural instinct to be afraid of you, to attack you, to make sure that they stay safe. And so you don't want to deal with any raccoons that are older than I'd say probably 2 months if you're going to keep them as pets. Plus, you don't really want to keep them as pets if they can go back out in the wild.
So this is something I don't think we've ever talked about or answered before. True or false, your raccoons shed a lot?
Not really compared to our cats. Yeah, cats shed infinitely more than raccoons do. Even during the winter when they kind of blow out that coat, I haven't really noticed a huge problem with it. But we do occasionally find a hair in our food every now and then, which is pretty gross. Yeah. But yeah.
Okay, some of these questions I think are really funny, and we don't have an answer to them. We just want to talk about it for a second. But you hold his little hands whenever you get the chance.
Yes.
True. Raccoon hands are so cute and
they're
so
soft.
Yeah, so soft. And their toes spread out pretty far, and sometimes we hold them.
But yeah. Insert picture here.
Yeah. Okay, true or false, owning a cute, cuddly raccoon is expensive?
False to a degree. It just kind of depends on how you do it. If you do it the way we did Cheeto and build a huge fancy enclosure for them, yeah, it's going to get pretty pricey pretty quickly. However, if you let them free roam the house like we do with Piper, it's not too bad. I think it's pretty comparable to how you would have a cat because you just got to make sure they have toys to play with, things for them to climb and scratch up, and you have to take them to the vet regularly. I swear I can never say that word the first time. But yeah, if you do it like Cheeto, it's going to be a lot more expensive, as you can tell, as caging requirements increase price.
Although I think one way raccoons can be more expensive is that they can cause damage, which you're going to end up paying for.
That's
we have a few holes in our wall we're going to have to fill in.
Yeah.
She's chewed cords. We've had how many phone and laptop chargers we've had to replace even this past year. So you're going to be paying for some of the damage that they have caused.
All right, fine. So normal pet care is comparable to a cat, but damages can actually be quite expensive. Tito flooded our house. Piper tore up the plumbing in one of her bathrooms, and that had to be fixed. It didn't flood the house, luckily, but it still was a decent amount to fix.
True or false, the raccoons are allowed to go anywhere in your house?
This is definitely false. There's pretty much 2 rooms that they can't go into, and that is the bathroom and the offices. But essentially, we don't want her in our office because that's where we run the business, so we don't want her destroying our laptop chargers and stuff like that because she's notorious for chewing cords, and we don't let her in the bathroom because she chews up the plumbing, and as we mentioned last thing, definitely some hefty expenses when plumbing is involved. So those are pretty much the only 2 rooms that we don't let them in, and they got free access to the rest of the house. I typically don't like them getting on counters and stuff because she gets into the plumbing that way. We got baby locks on all of our cabinets to keep her out of the other things that she shouldn't be in.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
I don't know if we should answer this one. Or wait. I don't know what your answer to this one is. True or false, you have a favorite raccoon?
True. Tito. Tito.
Cheeto
I'm sorry.
And Piper. So I would say false for me between Piper and Cheeto. I love them both equally, but I would say we favor one for the channel, mostly just because Piper likes being on camera more. She'll pose better for pictures, so most of our Instagram pictures are her, and she usually gives us better reactions for our YouTube videos too. So
yeah,
I think sometimes
people see it as favoritism,
like Piper more,
but it's just what y'all like to see over one raccoon or the other.
Right.
But anyways, Tito will always have a special place in my heart.
Yeah.
because he was the best. Literally, I could always pick him up, put him on my shoulders, and we just go walk around, and he's there.
So chill.
Yeah. The other two are great, but they have no chill sometimes. Cheeto, on the other hand, was perfect. But I also put a lot more time into him. Being my first raccoon. It's kind of like those memes about, the oldest child, the middle child, and the last child.
Yeah. Piper is such a baby.
Yeah, Piper is a ham.
I've never thought about that before. This one is actually not about pet raccoons, but wild raccoons, okay? If you see a raccoon out during the day, it means it is sick.
That's not always true. It's definitely something to take as a precaution. But what can happen is they can come out earlier and earlier, depending on how much competition is in the area. So they have to start looking for food at earlier times. So you might see them during the daylight, especially towards like dusk time. But it doesn't always mean that they're sick. So there are definitely some areas more prone to having raccoons coming out during the day. I think my aunt actually told me that in Florida they have a lot of raccoons out during the day, and that's just normal behavior for them there. So I don't really know what drove them to be at that come out during those times. Yeah, apparently they have more raccoons coming out during the day. They're all healthy, and it just kind of depends on your area and things like that and competition.
Or remember when we visited Chicago?
Oh, yeah.
And there was this huge pack of raccoons that my dad lives in Chicago, and he says he sees them all the time when he's taking a run at like noon. They're just like always hanging out at the lake.
Yeah,
so,
I wonder if they're
perfectly healthy.
Yeah, I wonder if they're motivated to come out during daytime hours because of the tourists that come and feed them. So that might be a motivation for them to come out earlier because there are not many people feeding raccoons at night. So that might be the case.
That's a good point. True or false, does Piper throw tantrums when something bad happens?
When something bad happens?
Yeah.
What, like bad to her?
When she gets caught doing something she shouldn't.
She definitely throws tantrums.
Yes,
I think the biggest thing is she'll climb up on the sink, usually at 4 in the morning, so I have to get up and wrangle her out of the sink because something got left in there that was left over from a dish and she wants to eat it or drink the nasty pan water, which drives me up the wall. So yeah, I'll try to pull her out of the sink, and of course she'll be huffing and scratching at me because she wants to stay in the sink. Another thing that she likes to do is get into our drawers and like tear those things up, and if she's being extra like destructive, I'll pull her out of there. And then of course she's not happy with that. Pretty much anything she wants to do and that we tell her to stop doing because it's either not safe for her or destruction of our property, she's gonna throw a tantrum. But once she is taken away from that, she's usually fine and goes back to destroying something else.
Right. We usually try to like give her a different toy to distract her. Otherwise she would like try to run right back up on the counter. Hi, Looney. True or false? You like Luna more than the raccoon?
False. But I still love it. I still love you, though. I still love you. Right.
Someone said, just curious, what is your profession?
So as of now, I'm a full-time YouTuber. I did get a college degree. Found out no one pays well in my degree unless you have like 10 years of experience.
Which is like it's a biology degree. Yeah. It's not like I don't want to like put down the arts, but it's not like an art degree.
But I feel like it's the stereotype. I went to college, couldn't get anything in my field that paid well, and so I ended up in pest control where we found a raccoon and then started this channel. I never once thought I'd be able to turn this into a full-time business, but that's how it happened. So thank you guys for liking and subscribing and watching our videos.
So feel free to like this one too.
Yeah.
It really helps out. Shall I answer mine?
Yeah.
And I'm an attorney. I'm actually unemployed right now, but I just accepted a job. It's going to start in a few months, but for now I get to help out with the channel. I'm employee of the month this month and every month.
Piper's employee of the month.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yes. All right, I'll lose to Piper. I'll take the L. True or false, raccoons are the best pet? Yeah, I'm going to go with false for that one. Especially for most people.
Yeah.
Like, I love our raccoons more than anything. They keep life so interesting. But they're a lot to handle.
There are a lot of negative sides to having them. So the first off, it's hard to find a babysitter. So like if you ever want to leave town for more than a couple of days, good luck finding someone who can watch them. Another drawback is they're very destructive. As we've told you before, flooded house, holes in a wall, all kinds of things like that. Another reason why they are hard pets is because they don't listen like your dog or your cat would. And so like getting them to listen to you can be quite aggravating at times. So they're also like really active, and so when your cat's like just napping all day and just lounging around, the raccoon is always moving, getting into something. So you always have to have constant supervision with them. And so it's a lot more than a lot of people can handle. And so I definitely don't think they're the best pet. And I think, to be honest, if you think raccoons are good, you'll find more of the qualities that you're probably looking for in a cat. And yeah, I definitely recommend a cat over a raccoon.
Another thing that like makes me sad about pet raccoons is that like I would love to move somewhere like Oregon or Washington, but in a lot of states raccoons are not legal. And even though they're legal where we live, we would love to move somewhere else one day. But we kind of have to like look at the map and be like, where can we even move because of Piper and Cheeto?
That's true. I forgot about that.
True or false? Raccoons will eat anything.
Definitely not true. False.
Yeah, definitely not true. There's a word for that.
Nah, they don't like a lot of the healthy stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, they like some, like they love nuts and stuff like that, but if you give them like a piece of broccoli, they're not really gonna eat that. Let me go.
Right, and they're like kind of surprisingly picky, considering like their reputation is like, oh, they'll eat trash, right? And then they also have like favorite foods. Like Cheeto loves blueberries, and like Piper could kind of care less. You know, she might like eat one or two, but then won't touch the rest.
Yeah. Piper loves goldfish, but she doesn't like cheese.
Yeah, which is kind of weird.
Yeah.
Or like Piper loves eggs, but then Cheeto doesn't care at all about them. So they have favorite foods, just like us. You know, Cheeto likes big butts and cannot lie.
True.
True or false? Raccoons like to cuddle.
That one just depends on the raccoon, honestly. Because Piper, like, she sleeps with us every night. She loves cuddling. Cheeto, on the other hand, we can't get him to sit still long enough for him to actually cuddle. And even when he is somewhat calm, he still doesn't like to be held or cuddle or anything like that.
Right. I mean, they're kind of like how every cat has a personality. Every raccoon is going to be different. So don't like see us posting a video or a cute picture to our Instagram of Piper cuddled up with us and think
all
if you were
raccoons
going to get
are
a
like
raccoon,
that,
that's what it's for sure going to be like. Because it's going to be just like a cat. Some of them like to be pet.
Yeah. And
then others don't want to be touched at all.
And Tito is kind of the same way. He liked to be held, but he didn't necessarily like to be cuddled or anything like that. So it literally just depends on their personality.
Right. Okay, true or false? Raccoons have thumbs.
They don't have, false. They don't have thumbs, and it's kind of like a hand like this. They can move back and forth like that, but their thumb doesn't come out like that. So it's just like having a fifth finger, and they like to
they hold things like that instead of like.
Yeah, it's kind of funny looking.
Okay, so this is going to be our last question. True or false, raccoons living with humans have a bond with the humans?
True. So essentially, like as we've been telling you all throughout this video, Piper and Cheeto love us, come up and hang out with us all the time. However, when a friend comes over, they always go running for the hills and hide under the bed or something like that until they see that we're hanging out with them and that it's not a threat. And then they're kind of more curious about that person. But yeah, whenever it's someone new, they're usually really scared and wary of that person.
Yeah, and I would say like our raccoons see us as like mom and dad and like as their caretakers and their family, just like our cats like bond with us as well. So definitely have that special relationship with Piper and Cheeto.
Let us know in the comments below if you like these types of videos. We enjoy making them, and it's a lot different than our typical video. So yeah, comment below, and we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Okay. All right, ready?
No.
Hey everyone, here, ready? Stop.
Yeah.
Let us know in the comments below if you like these sit-down talking videos, because they're a lot easier to make.
Nah, don't say that.
Oh, squeeze that fool.